face 13 dropbacks with just the three. They're gonna try.
Today I'll be demonstrating a drop fade on tightly coiled hair. So this hair texture is a little bit tricky. As you can see, it wants to bead up and clump up together. So before you begin fading, you want to make sure that you thoroughly comb out the hair to its full length. Now I'm going to create my bald guideline for the fade, dropping it in the back. And now I'm going to bald it out. Now that I'm done with the trimmer attachment, I'm going to switch to a clipper attachment. So I started out with the number 3 guard, and it's better to be safe than sorry. I wanted to start with the higher guard at first, just in case it cut off enough. But I decided to go lower with the number 2 guard. And here the lever is fully closed. And I'm going with the grain. So for the beginners out there, with the grain means the direction that the hair naturally grows. Always in the crown area, you want to comb first to make sure that you know which direction the hair is going. This area is very easy to gap, so make sure you're taking your time whenever cutting this area. As they say with the old saying, it's better to measure twice and cut once. Literally in this scenario. By the way, if you're new to this channel and you like what you're seeing so far, be sure to hit that like button as well as the subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow. So here with the number 2 guard still on, I'm going to go up to the parietal ridge and debulk. This will be the highest guard that I'm using. By debulking with the highest guard first, it gives you a stopping point for your fade. So this prevents you from going too high. Next, I'm going to fully open the lever on the clipper and begin fading. So see with this hair texture, as you can see, the hair wants to bunch up. Even though it's cutting, it's still lumping up. Textures like this are often resistant, but as long as you just keep going over the area, it will eventually cut. So now I'm going to fully close the lever, and then I'm going to gradually open it as I begin to blend up. Here I'm opening the lever about a quarter of the way. So remember, each time you go up, you want to gradually open the lever. And the next time I open the lever, it'll be a little bit past halfway. So that's almost 3/4 of the way open. Just be careful not to go up past that guideline that you initially created, because then you will end up raising your fade, and that's what you don't want to do. And then here I just went back and I saw a few dark spots, so I'm just doing cleanup work as I go. So now I have on the number 1 guard, and the lever is fully open, and I'm creating another guideline. So as you can see, once again, his hair is very tightly coiled, but it's also wavy. It may look like his hair is very soft and curly on camera, but it's a little bit more stiff than you think. So now I fully close the lever. So the steps of this guard: lever open, lever closed, and then lever halfway open. If you've been subscribed to this channel for a while, then you should know these fade steps like the back of your hand, because I know I sound like a broken record by now. The only reason I just keep repeating these steps is just because I want you guys to realize that this is a proven method. As long as you follow these steps on every side of the head, you will always get consistent results. So now I'm blending in between the 1 guard open and the 1 guard closed. And if it doesn't cut the hair on the first pass, that's okay. Like I said, with certain hair textures, it's a little bit more resistant, but just keep going back at it. So here I have on the half guard and the lever is halfway open, and I'm blending up under that one guard closed. Now with this half guard, just be careful not to go too high. Now the lever is fully closed. So next I'm doing detail work. The lever is fully open on the clipper, and I'm just getting any dark spots on the bottom of the fade. Some people like to save detail work for the end, but it's totally a preference thing. Personally, I just like to detail as I go. That way, if I'm spinning the client around and just in case I do see one or two hairs out of place, it's not like I have to spend 5 minutes in one area detailing. It's just literally a couple of flicks of the clipper. So here I have the 1.5 guard going up under that number 2 guard that we initially debulked with. So I'm gonna stay right here for a minute and just attack this area until that weight just gradually disappears. And you also see me flip the clipper around and go with the grain. Going with the grain just makes the blend, it smooths everything down. Here I'm just continuing with the 1.5 guard just to smooth everything down. So the goal right here is just to get that weight away from that parietal ridge. So here I'm back with the number 1 guard, still smoothing everything down. So as you can see right here, you can see the blend really starting to come together. And at this point, the steps are done. All I'm about to do now is go back and detail. So what I recommend doing is starting with a larger guard at first to attack any dark spots that you see. And then if you don't see any progress with that, then you can either go to a lower guard or just use the lever open. And now that I'm done with the clipper attachment, I'm switching back to a liner. So with the lineup, you want to keep everything as natural as possible. Comb the hair forward. That way you're not digging into the natural hairline. You're mainly getting the fly hairs that's overhanging on the natural lineup basically. And a good rule of thumb is just to start in the middle and work your way either right or left. The objective is just to get the hair as naturally straight as possible. Now as you can see with his lineup, it's more of a horseshoe shaped, but I'm not going to push it. Not everyone will have a 180-degree lineup. You have to naturally shape the lineup to the shape of their head without pushing it too far. Also, what a lot of people do, they start on the weakest side first and then match the other side. It's really a preference of whatever works better for you. As long as you take off the least amount of hair as possible. And you'll see once I get to this corner of this side, I'm not going to push it. I could to make it more cosmetically appealing, but once it grows back, it will not look good at all. Also, this is a long-time client of mine, so we've had several discussions about how he wants his hair lined up. So that's why it's very important to build a relationship with your customers. Have a customer profile with every client that you could. That way you learn to know exactly what they like. If you're new to barbering, one thing that I strongly advise that you learn how to do is use a straight razor. This can really take your cuts to the next level. If you check out the other videos on this channel, I've made several videos showing you how to use a razor, and whether it's on the front lineup or the beard. I've got several tutorials, so just check them out on the channel. And then lastly, I'm just putting on the final touches of the haircut. Just going back and doing more detail work. This is what sets your cuts apart. You see, when I tried to hand him the mirror, he didn't even want to take it. That's the biggest compliment that a barber can ever get. That's how you know you've gained the trust of your client. So once again, if you got value out of this video, let me know in the comments. And if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. We're on the road to 200K. Thanks for watching.